platypus lives in fluffy gardens. Bill lives here at Herring Harbour, to be precise. Bill lives on a boat. The only boat in the harbour. Isn't that strange? Bill the platypus loves boats. When the tide comes in, Bill sits on deck and plays happily with his little yellow toy truck as his boat bobs up and down. When he's finished playing, Bill often forgets to put his yellow truck away. You see, Bill the platypus is very forgetful. Almost every day, Bill forgets where he put his favorite hat. A little sailor's hat. He looks all around his boat trying to remember where he put it. Eventually he realizes it's on his head. Yes, Bill the platypus is terribly forgetful. It's lucky that Bill lives on a boat. If he lived in a house, he probably wouldn't remember which house was his. But if you lived in the only boat in the harbour, you would remember it, wouldn't you? Our story begins early one day when the tide was in. As usual, Bill played with his little yellow toy truck and forgot to put it away. As usual, he had forgotten where he'd put his favourite hat, his little sailor's hat. And as usual, he looked all around his boat trying to remember where he'd put it. But this wasn't a usual day. Because, unlike most days, Bill's hat was not on his head. It was nowhere to be found. Bill couldn't remember where he'd left it, no matter how hard he tried. He got terribly flustered. So, he went out to look for it. Bill was looking behind bushes and trees and even under rocks when he met Polly the pelican, who was on her way to the beach carrying a sign.
Hello, Bill,
said Polly cheerfully. Oh, hello, Bill had totally forgotten Polly's name.
what you looking for?
Bill tried hard to remember what he was looking for. As he scratched his head, he realized that something was missing. His hat. I've lost my hat, he explained.
Maybe you should look at the beach,
suggested Polly. Okay, I'll try there, said Bill.
While you're there,
she added,
would you put up this sign for me?
Bill smiled and took the sign. It read, "Come and see the big boat race today." Ooh, a big boat race. Yeah, Bill loved boats. So he skipped off to the beach to look for his lost hat.
Don't forget to put up the sign,
Polly called after him. At the beach, Bill looked under shells, behind beach balls, and even under Cornelius the crab. Oh, hello, Bill had totally forgotten Cornelius's name. Bill explained all about his lost hat. Maybe you should look in town, suggested Cornelius. I'll try there, said Bill, and skipped off to town to look for his lost hat, forgetting all about putting up Polly's sign. In town, Bill looked behind post boxes, at bus stops, and in shop windows.
hello, Bill,
said wee Reg, who was in town buying some eggs. Oh, hello, Bill had totally forgotten wee Reg's name. Bill explained all about his lost sailor's hat. Then, wee Reg asked him a question that nobody else had asked him.
where is the last place you saw it?
He asked. Bill thought long and hard. He couldn't remember where he had put his hat, but he did remember something. Something he does every day. He remembered that the day before, his hat was on his head. It was on my head, he said, on my boat. Wee Reg smiled.
Well then,
He said,
that's where your hat must be, somewhere on your boat.
You're right, said Bill. I remember now. Bill ran all the way home. Now, if you lived in the only boat in the harbour, you would remember it, wouldn't you? So would Bill. shouted Bill. "Why are there so many boats in the harbour?" And then he noticed the sign he was still carrying. Bill had forgotten all about it. As you know already, it read, "Come and see the big boat race today." "Oh, a big boat race," said Bill quietly. "How will I possibly remember which boat is mine?" Bill walked up and down the harbour. He tried and tried, but couldn't remember which boat was his. And that's when he saw something. One boat in the middle of all the others had a little yellow toy truck on deck. As usual, he had forgotten to put it away. Bill remembered this was his boat. Bill ran onto his boat and into his bedroom. Lying in the sheets was his favorite hat, his little sailor's hat. He put it on and smiled to himself. He had remembered much more than usual today. He remembered where his hat was. He remembered which boat was his. And then he noticed he was carrying a sign.